Hello and welcome to Quickfire Fiction, where we explore a short piece of writing from an author's book before asking you some questions about it. Before we begin, you can download the text to read along with the author now. Then watch the author read a small part of their book. After that, pause the video and answer the questions. And finally, play the video to see how they answer the questions.
You are handed a box marked Top Secret. The box is addressed to you. Do you A, rip it open, or B, wait for your parents to come home before unwrapping it? If you'd answered A, proceed to the next question. If you answered B, start again. The correct answer is A. Inside the box, you find a jar of sweets and an information booklet. The sweets are labeled Nature's Own and smell of peppermint. The information book is 48 pages long. Do you A, open the jar of sweets, or B, read page after boring page from the booklet? If you answered A, proceed to the final question. If you answered B, take a deep breath and read question 2 again, then answer A. 3. You discover the sweets unleash a molecular chain reaction. It results in you developing extraordinary powers. Do you A, run amok, cause havoc at school and join the circus, or B, master your power, dedicate yourself to a life of public service, become the warrior hero our world so desperately needs? If you answered A, read on. If you answered B, seriously? B again? It seems you haven't yet twigged how this quiz works. The correct answer is A, no one masters a power from the off. But do not worry, my friend. Help is waiting for you within these very pages. So carry on and pay close attention. My name is Aidan Sweeney, and I am Fireboy.
Alright then, let's go through the questions together, shall we? Pause the video now and answer the questions.
Can you summarize the text in a single sentence for me?
Matilda meets the X-Men. Yeah, how's that? My punchline, yeah?
Which words would you use to describe the text?
I think if you look at that you at the very start, it's the very first word in the book, you are you. And I think that's really, in some ways, describes it. It's about trying to make us, Aidan is talking to the reader a lot of it as his friend, and I think that's what it's meant to be. It's about us sharing my story with someone, kind of putting an arm around him, or having a chat and telling him a bit about it. And that's really what's the mood of the story is.
Yeah,
Two mates talking about something they did.
Which words change the mood of the text?
I suppose sweets in many respects, because it's going to be sweets which engineers this whole idea. I like the idea because it seemed a bit of a cliche having sweets which are somehow magical, but I wanted to make them a little bit different. So I actually enjoy that idea of playing around it and making them something a bit serious. So sweets are going to be very important in this.
How else did you structure part of the text?
What I wanted to do is try and make the actual text exciting. So it's got a lot of lists. It has excerpts from different texts. It's got little bits of video transcribed. There's bits of dialogue. There's bits of conversation. So I wanted to make that a part of it. Even though it's not going to be illustrations, I wanted to make the words interesting, because it is really about chatting and metafiction and this talking to you. So I wanted us to kind of look at the idea. I mean, the idea is that Aidan is writing this story, hence I wanted to make a reflection on what writing is, so there's a bit of scripts in it, there's a list, there's all sorts of different things put in. So I've structured it that way to make it interesting and fun and tell the story at the same time.
Yeah, good. Have you used any interesting language techniques when writing?
In terms of language, I suppose it is really trying to restrict myself to, because I read a lot of, particularly at Bat Spa, you have some wonderful writers who really stretch language sometimes when they write. I was fortunate enough to have Julia Green as my tutor, and you can see that in so many of her stories. But for me, I thought actually I have to tone that down. I really wanted to stay true to my point of view as best I can, and not use a whole lot of adult language to describe it as best I can. So I watered mine down a good bit as best I can and try to talk without using slang, but in words and terms which I thought reasonably well-read 12-year-old boy would use.
How do you want the text to make people feel?
I want them to laugh. That's it, straight out. It's a comedy. It's just there to make you laugh. There are a lot of funny scenes in it, actually, and it is funny. I'm not. You read David Solomon, and My Brother's a Superhero, and there one-liner, punchline. It's funny. My humor comes mostly from character, and it is fun. There are some funny scenes in it, and hopefully it'll make people laugh.
Well done. You finished this quick fire fiction. See you again.